Despite their best efforts, the Trump administration is presiding over a solar and renewable energy boom and may be about to get out of the way. That's good for the US economy, consumers, and electricity producers. First, I want to say that I've enjoyed the cheap gas recently, but that's probably over after the latest Iran strikes pushed oil prices to their highest level since summer. We'll see if it sticks, but if the latest move does, expect prices to rise 20 to 30 cents per gallon here shortly. Separately, natural gas we know has been a killer nationwide, especially this winter with freezing temperatures all the way down into Florida. Cheap oil and gas were the trade off for this administration, which chose for over a year now to gum up electricity production. That's what I wanted to really cover today. Since Inauguration Day, now over 400 days ago, the administration has been at a bureaucratic exorcism on electricity production. The economics case is against them, and it's starting to show up in the markets big time. Those in this administration have put on a doctorate level class in the policy of spite. From day one, they have disassociated themselves from every form of renewable energy unless it involves nuclear power, a technology many American voters still view with skepticism that borders on outright loathing. There's a rich irony in an administration that prides itself on, quote, common sense while pushing the most expensive, most centralized, slowest to build energy source while actively trying to kill off others. We've watched Chris Wright, the energy secretary, and Russ Vought, the head of the budget office, refer to solar, wind, and battery storage projects as a woke hobby. But the person I'm most disappointed in is actually Doug Burgum. He's the interior secretary. Doug is a red blooded American entrepreneur. He literally mortgaged the family farm to bet on himself, build a software empire, sell it to Microsoft, and get into politics. Like, what a dream. He has school and farm smarts. Between Microsoft, being the governor of North Dakota, starting his own business, he ought to know better. I think he does. He's seen firsthand how innovation drives growth. Yet, as Interior Secretary, he chose to become the architect of an increasingly high friction energy environment. He instituted a personal sign off requirement for any wind or solar project on federal land. It had to come across his desk, and he had to be the ultimate yes or no. This is the exact kind of slow down development, anti building, bureaucratic bullshit you usually see from heavy handed socialist governments. Implementing a mother may I permitting system for these projects is idiotic, and he knows it. There are real costs to this. The administration sued last year to stop an in progress offshore wind project in Virginia by Dominion Energy. Dominion won in court, but it cost them over $200 million. Trust me, Dominion's customers will ultimately be paying for that, by the way, over time. You're crazy if you think Dominion is just going to eat $200 million in opportunity costs and legal expenses. The government gummed up the Esmeralda solar project, a separate thing in Nevada, which is the largest solar project in the United States. They put a halt on that, only to have the Republican governor of Nevada, Joe Lombardo, go on tour and then lambast them over how stupid that was. Over at the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, Lee Zeldin canceled the Solar for All program from the Biden administration, which was supposed to put solar roofs on residences, and the power supplied from those roofs would then be directly put back onto the grid for all public use. Their reason for killing off the program was that maybe 15% of the money was going to middlemen. 0% of the money going to middlemen would be better, but 15%, that seems like it was fixable. So how's all this working out for the American voter? Electricity prices over the last year, they're up 7% nationwide on average. Energy dominance, that slogan from the Trump administration, has turned out to be very expensive for the average American family. But look at the companies themselves that are in these industries and the stock prices. Despite the hostility, investors are laughing while giving this administration the finger, much like Trump did to that random Ford auto worker. Since January 20th, 2025, FAN, the wind ETF, is plus 64%, while TAN, the solar ETF, is plus 60%. The S&P 500, I think, is up maybe 18 to 20% over that span. Investors aren't stupid. The bankers aren't stupid. They see that of the 86 gigawatts in new capacity being added to the US grid this year, 93% is coming from solar, wind, or battery storage. So, what do you do when your political bullshit gets in the way of good business and you're getting rocked in the polls? You capitulate. So, after losing in court to Dominion Energy on that offshore wind project, after getting publicly admonished by the Republican governor in Nevada over the solar project, the administration has suddenly found some flexibility. And on February 26th, they said they are, quote, reconsidering or jump starting reviews for 20 commercial scale projects. How convenient. Now that the Iran conflict threatens oil supply and prices are going up and the grid's at a breaking point and energy prices are up, electricity prices are up, and they're down in the polls, suddenly they're willing to get out of the way. The bottom line is these guys cost the American economy a full year of electricity build out potential because they put their ideology over good business. They turned a major pain point in electricity prices into a political weapon and shot themselves in the foot on top of it. Investment in solar and wind is happening despite them, not because of them. This is an area, energy, where this administration was supposed to shine, where they were supposed to claim the high ground, where they could be trusted. But like the Liberation Day tariffs, the market smacked them in the mouth and made them a fool. This is Banker Bill for Is It Bad for the Economy? All source material to substantiate my claims is included in the description. Of course, this is not investment advice. If you liked what you heard, subscribe to Is It Bad for the Economy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Substack, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you.